Greetings, Tabernacle family. We hope that you and your family are doing well. It is Legacy Sunday, and we are so thankful for Tabernacle Baptist Church being a pillar in the community. And we're thankful for Autumn Smith, a historian emphasizing in African American studies and a grant writer. And we had a chance to sit with her as she shared her story about being a grant writer and how she's helped Tabernacle Baptist Church.
I am a grant writer and historian. I focus on African American history, and I particularly focus on preservation in African American communities. So one of the things I really love to focus on is preserving African American churches. And of course, I've worked with Ebenezer Baptist Church and Tabernacle Baptist Church. I have a passion for telling Black stories and telling African American stories. That passion comes from the way that I was raised. It comes from my family. My family has always been a very prideful family and very honed in on the importance of understanding the history and where you come from. I decided that I wanted to go to college to major in African American studies. Of course, I didn't care about making money because there's no money in saving the world, as a lot of people say, but I wanted to make sure that I used my life and used the gifts that God has given me to make other people's lives better and make the people's lives better that look like me. I had to do a senior project on a community and focus on the public policy of the community. And I decided to find a historic African American community. And so I discovered Augusta and the Laney Walker community. And so I did a community development project on the Laney Walker community. And when I went into grad school, I decided that I wanted to do my master's thesis on historic preservation in African American communities and the threat of gentrification. And I decided to use the Laney Walker community as my case study. I wrote my first grant independently for Ebenezer Baptist Church. After doing that grant with them, I went on to work with the National Center for Civil and Human Rights, and I worked on a few major grants focusing on truth and transformation, and that's what brought me here to Tabernacle. Writing the grant for Tabernacle was a very interesting thing, but it was very enjoyable and very easy. Tabernacle is an amazing church and a very historic church. And when I began to write the grant for Tabernacle, I used a lot of my thesis research to do it. And in doing so, I was able to not only just talk about just the significance of Tabernacle and the grandness of the church, but I was also able to talk about the community and how important Tabernacle is to the community. And we got the National Fund for Sacred Places grant, which is a national grant, so I am grateful. Our relationship with Sacred Places comes from, of course, us receiving the grant in 2024. And that relationship has been nothing but beneficial for Tabernacle. I believe that Tabernacle is benefiting from this grant, not only receiving funds, but also receiving guidance on how to preserve the church. This is an amazing church, and your pastor, Dr. Charles Goodman, he came into an amazing church because of the work that Otis Moss did to preserve the church and understanding the legacy and the history. And so I believe if every pastor and every leader of this church continues with that same pattern, with that legacy, then the history of Tabernacle will always be told. Thank you to Tabernacle and to the Laney Walker community for embracing me when I was a 22-year-old college student coming into this community. A lot of you all embraced me and allowed me to be able to tell you all story. As historians, a lot of us, we go into communities and we take from you all. We go and we tell these stories and we write books about you all. But being able to write this grant was my opportunity to be able to give back to this community that gave to me. So I am grateful and thankful for Tabernacle.
Thank you, Autumn Smith, for your work as a grant writer and for your work as a historian. And thank you for helping Tabernacle secure a national grant to help us preserve our legacy. And Tabernacle family, thank you for investing in us as well. And as always, thank you for worshiping with us at the historic Tabernacle Baptist Church, a local church making a global impact.